technology is something that's definitely making it happen. And we are going to talk about the emerging technologies that are the real fuel to the innovations that we are seeing in the different industries. But before we go into the technologies, I would like to spend some time, just a couple of slides, talking about what I think is innovation and when does it happen. And I think innovation is not just about creating a new product or a new process. It starts with that, but innovation is really about making an impact. It's about making something that's going to go change a lot of lives, or at least the lifestyles, so that it becomes a norm. It has to become a norm to be an innovation. Like everything that comes to our mind, like iPhone, iPad, or Google Drives, or anything, it's not the new thing that they got. It's because they made such a big impact that they are an innovation. And we have to think of it like that you have to make a big impact and not just a small change, but something that can change the norm. So when does it happen? It happens when there is a problem, when there's a solution to a problem. Many people, they get confused between invention and innovation. Invention is like discovering a new thing. And it can just stay as an invention if it's not value added, if it does not lead to something that changes the norm. So it happens when there's a problem and when somebody's trying to solve that problem to make an impact. And we can take a lot of different examples, even innovations that are not related to technology. For example, like Post-it, right? Paper was already there. The pressure-sensitive adhesive was already there. It was about putting it together and solving a problem of remembering things wherever, taking these little notes so that you can remember things. And because it solved such a simple and a problem that, was so near and dear to everybody, it became an innovation. It was an innovation. And even for like something related to technology like iPod, MP3 songs were already there. It's not like that we did not have CDs or Walkmans that we could carry around and listen to music anywhere. So what was it that made it into such a big innovation? It was the problem that it solved, that I don't want to pay for the whole CD where I only listen to 2 songs out of it. I don't want to pay for all the rest of the songs. I just want to pay only for the songs that I like. And because it was just a new way of thinking and solving a problem, it was an innovation. And it changed so many more things. The other good thing of innovation is it gives way to another innovations. It breeds innovations. Because once it becomes a norm, you have to make it better, right? You cannot just live in the norm. So once it becomes a norm, you make it better, and that is when we keep on seeing a good, full growth. So why now? And I think everybody has seen this graph. And we can see that according to the Moore's law, we know that technology growth is exponential. And right now, it has reached a point where it's just increasing so much faster that it's very hard for us to really capture that, add value to it, and make it something that will be impactful. So technology is there, but to really use it and make it such that it's impacting the life of people around us and the bigger, the humankind, there is a lot of opportunities. And we are going to go into some of the emerging technologies that we are seeing right now that are causing disruption in many different fields. And I think I'll start with one of my favorite one, artificial intelligence, because that's my area. I work with artificial intelligence and robotics. And I have to say that the science, the math, the models behind this is not something new. It has existed before. But the technology, the processing power that has increased so much that it is making this a reality in our lives. We are seeing it every day. We are using it in different forms already. Maybe the big highlighted things are still far away, but some things like this personal assistant that we use on a daily basis. I was driving to SF today, and I had this map application, which was actually making every turn that I took wrong, or it was correcting itself, it was helping me. I was just so happy to have that assistant with me, because otherwise I would be completely lost and wouldn't have made it. And I think all these little things, like I love Amazon Echo too. Like this is another example. This is funny, but here in Silicon Valley, it's so hard to know whether it's going to be cold today or it's going to be hot today. For consecutive days, it's hot, and then suddenly it will become cold, and somehow I feel like I can never get it right. I'm always dressed improperly. But with this, it has solved so much problem, because all I do is just shout and ask, hey, Alexa, how's the weather going to be today? And it tells me exactly how it's going to be, and I can at least get it right most of the time. And so the way these things are really helping us, assisting us, and using their intelligence to help our lifestyle, it's making a difference. It's making an impact. And I love these innovations. But artificial intelligence in particular actually has a lot more promise and lot more capabilities to do much bigger changes. And we are already seeing self-driving cars and drones, but once they become mainstream, once they actually start using everywhere, this is when we will see the real power of artificial intelligence. Okay, this is another one of the very, very cool technology, the virtual reality and augmented reality. And I remember when I was a kid, I would watch these movies where they have like people and cartoons together, and I'd be like, wow, how do they do it? And then I came here, and all the video games and everything in the media, it was just becoming better and better. And it was amazing how you see all of these things. But now, not just for entertainment and not just for media, but it's actually becoming something that we can use. People are using virtual reality to train firefighters, to simulate, for helping the physicians learn how to do surgeries, and all of the other things. The bigger thing that I think will happen when it's going to change the education system. I think there is a lot of opportunity over there, because just imagine giving one more dimension to the kids. How much power and it's going to give them to understand and feel and learn about things. So I actually thought of, this is one of my favorite areas, and I think I'm going to look into it more at some point of the time, because I was teaching my daughter about a circle. We were just discussing, because she was very confused on how the heart actually, pumps and get the blood to the arteries, and how does it come. And I was trying to explain it, and I also showed her some videos and stuff. But at that time, I was thinking, if there is something like a virtual reality where she can actually feel and look at the things in 3 dimensions, it would be a completely different way how she understands how these things work. So just imagine the possibility, and if the kids are able to feel, they are going to be so much more empowered about how things work and how they can use them. The other things that we are, seeing in some way and not, and I think health industry is one of the industry, I would say, that is actually using most of these technologies really and making use of it, is definitely trying to see, give more information about the physical parts, where they are. And also another one is the manufacturing industry, where you can now create all these models and see that how they fit. Can you complicate the design? What are the biggest challenges of them? And it's, if you have, like, imagine something like this. If you have to really build it to really see on how it's going to fit, or you just kind of missed one of the part, it will be so much damage to cost and time and everything. But if you do it with virtual reality and you get it right, you will be able to really, customize, examine, and you would be able to see what is the best way to get things done. So I think augmented and virtual reality is definitely we'll see a lot of things coming into, or this technology being used in different areas. Oh, this is my favorite too, Internet of Things, because right now I'm at Tyco, and Tyco is a big promoter with a lot of security devices and cameras and everything. And I think we need it. I know people have their concerns about privacy and security, but those are the problems that need solutions. But IoT is definitely something that we need. We are already seeing these small wearable devices. And I was just having a discussion other day that right now when I'm going around with my smartphone, with my iPhone, it has way more power than the whole computer lab of my undergrad, which is like, oh my God, I'm like running with this power every day. And at that time we were like, okay, this is my, these 2 hours, I'll book like 3 computers to do some processing and all of those stuff. And it's just so different. So all these smart devices that are coming out, it's making a big difference. Like not only personally, but even at our home. We are already seeing Nest. We are already seeing smart video cameras. And when I was driving, I was reading some advertisements about smart locks that is your front door open and they can really figure it out and you can just use the app and then close it. So these are like little things connected, giving you more information up to date. You're always getting more and more out of it. And I think that's making a big difference. So where is it going next? I think we have to think much bigger. We can actually not only think of terms of personal devices or home devices, but we have to think of it on how to connect all of these to make much bigger impact, like smarter cities. Like we have to think that how we can connect these things for a better traffic control, for better management of energy, waste management, and everything else. So this is something that's more in concept right now, but people are working towards it, and we really have to see how can we make this a realization. Such a nice picture. Just look at it. And apparently this is one of the things that came, like they did 3D printing of like making different models of dinosaur skulls. And I think 3D printing is, again, one of those things that have a big, big potential. They have already done so much advances. Again, the health industry is really using it. There was an example where they actually created a trachea for a small boy, which will really fit like his size and his design, and they saved that little boy's life. And things like that really, make you think that we are making progress in the right direction. We are using technology to do really some good things that we wouldn't have thought about earlier. So, I think that's my personal thing too, that how we use any of these things, not to just for luxury stuff, but for real purposes that are out there. Another example of 3D printing where it's making a difference is in manufacturing again. There are parts that used to take year and a half, like 12 months to 18 months, and now they take 2 months and 3 months. Just imagine the number of things that will increase, or the production, how it's going to change the whole manufacturing industry, that if we get it much faster. And this is one of my favorite. This is like integrated design in jewelry so that all of us can change our wardrobe and really personalize things according to our liking. So hopefully the retail industry can also benefit from 3D printing, but we really have to go and then see what. Last but not the least, there are so many more technologies, by the way. I'm just like capturing 3 or 4 of them. But I cannot not talk about cloud computing in this, because this is really the reason of innovation. It was because of cloud computing that the technology became available everywhere to so many people at such a low cost that a lot more human brains started to actually work towards solving problems. See, machines are machine, technology is technology, but ultimately I think it is the humans and it is our intelligence and our way of thinking and our way of questioning why and our way of questioning what if is the one that makes the things possible. And because that now the technology is available to everybody and everybody is putting their brain power into finding new solutions, you're seeing way more innovation. Can you imagine, okay, this is a question, like 20 years back also, I would never think of starting a startup. Like, can I support even like that kind of a hardware to set up a data center to make it available to everybody? It not only possible because of internet and whatnot, but also it was just not cost effective. I had to put so much money into it. But now even young students from their, dorm and everywhere, they can come up with a new website, new solution and just take it to millions and, grow as growing their infrastructure as their business is growing. So I think we really have to give our respect to cloud computing and how it has changed the world and has really helped the innovations coming out. So what's next? Global maxima. So I think that all these technologies are making a change on its own in a particular set of industries. But I think the biggest change will come when we mix them together, like we mix artificial intelligence with augmented reality, with IoTs and everything together. When we connect all these dots together, we are actually going to make much, much bigger impact. And not only technology, we have to make sure that we are combining human intelligence with it. We are combining everything and we are really trying to solve and impact not only the lives of people here in Silicon Valley or in, the developed countries and things like that, but we are actually thinking about the underprivileged and we are thinking about developing countries and we try to do innovations to really make a difference at that level. So thank you, everyone. It is 9:30 and I'd just like to say thanks for listening. And I know that I'm surrounded with entrepreneurs here and I know that you'll be innovating, but let's keep innovating and try to make a better place. Thank you.